My life is better with you in it. That bit isn't a lie. So does it really matter?
I wanted to say thank you, Mrs. Owen.
Up. She was very narrow-minded.
Today I'm super uber mega excited to be sharing this video with you guys because yes, we are here today to speak about this new lesbian relationship situationship that happened between Amy and Caitlin on the series called Jetty. But before we get into further details and actually discuss everything, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And let me tell you, I would highly 1,000,000,000% recommend you also go ahead and go watch it because it is worth the watch. It's amazing. And yes, the queer storyline is kind of like the main topic of the series. And there's another reason why I really wanted to share it with you guys. So let's get right into further details. So it's a British crime drama television series. It follows Detective Amber as she must figure out how a fire at a vacation home is connected to a podcast journalist investigating a missing persons cold case and a love triangle between a man and two, basically girls. It's a mini series for 4 episodes. You can watch it on Netflix and also Disney Plus and Amazon Video. So basically, who is Amy and who is Caitlin? Amy, she is a school student who is in a relationship with Maliki. She is a very complex character with many layers. She acts on impulse but also very calculated. She's young, wild, and free in this case. And then on the other hand, we have Caitlin. Caitlin, she has a close and complicated relationship with Amy. She is the opposite of Amy when it comes to personality. She's a natural introvert and more shy. She's not very good with people. The only person that actually gets her in this case is actually Amy. But she's different when Amy is around her and she's basically drawn to her because she is the first person she can express her queerness to. So basically, my main focus will only to discuss the relationship between Amy and Caitlin because there is a lot that develops on the series and it will be impossible for me to express it all in this video. So that will be my main focus. Okay, so Amy and Caitlin decided to get very close during, their school days. You can actually see that Amy was the one who made the approach towards Caitlin, and Caitlin is instantly drawn, to Amy because she's so different and outgoing, and she's on the other hand very opposite of her, like I already said. So Caitlin definitely started to develop more intense feelings for Amy, but Amy knew how to use that feelings in order to get what she wanted from Caitlin. So it was kind of in the beginning for me like a manipulative type of friendship, is because actually see that Amy knew that Caitlin had feelings for her, but she knew also how to use that in her advantage to make Caitlin do whatever she wanted her to do, because Caitlin would just do anything that Amy asked her to do. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So things got very complicated once Caitlin really started to dislike Malik, in this case Amy's boyfriend, because in this case she didn't like the fact that he was older than her, and he didn't like the way Amy was when Amy was around him, in this case, the way they used to argue and just have this very toxic relationship. And Caitlin always felt like she needed to leave Malik and be with her, and just stop making things so complicated. But Amy always made it very clear that she want to be with Malik. Malik is her person, even though Malik doesn't believe in love, but she does believe that Malik maybe one day will love her. So they have kind of a very complicated, very complicated relationship. But Caitlin always had the hope that one day Amy will click and they will be together. But unfortunately, that never happened. Yes, they shared very good moments together, but there's also a lot that develops around their relationship, because in this case, Amy is actually the girl who disappeared. Amy is actually the girl that people are trying to figure out what happened to her, why nobody investigated her disappearance. So that's how Amber, in this case, Amber the detective, also plays her role, because at the end of the series, there was a whole surprising, information that nobody knew where it came from. It just left me so confusing. But it looks like in this case, Malik ended up having, a family with Amber, but Amber was the one who eliminated Amy accidentally because of a one wild night that they had. And now, of course, also Caitlin, ended up ending things with Amy, because there was this one night where they were doing things, and that's where Caitlin actually snapped and told Amy like, I want to be with you, I'm jealous to see you with Malik. I want you to leave him. I want you to be with me. And I can't be this anymore. Like, I feel like you are emotionally manipulating me. I had enough, basically. And Caitlin walked away, and Amy basically told her, hey, if you walk away, you will never see me again. And yes, they never saw one another again. But you can also see how Amy's family, she came from a wealthy family that lost everything, that was on their way to lose everything. And there's just a lot going on in the series. I know I might sound like I'm all over the place. You said it's only 4 episodes and there was a lot going on. I mean, basically doesn't come from a very stable household. You know, her family is rich, but you can see that her parents are not very good guidance for her. On the other hand, Caitlin, she comes from a good household. You know, her mother's very active in her life. She has like a mysterious type of relationship with her father, but he's also present. So they come from two different, you know, sides of life, but they found a way to make this friendship and this situationship work. But at the end of the day, you know, things didn't go as planned because unfortunately Amy was eliminated accidentally by Amber. She didn't even remember. She only remembered it years later on what actually happened, because they were gonna accuse Malik of, you know, Amber's disappearance. And so there was a whole investigation going on. If you guys want to know details regarding that, I would highly recommend you also go ahead and go watch it. So Caitlin basically realized that in this case, Amy will never leave Malik to be with her. She will never make that step, you know, because Malik actually came to a point where he told Amy, like, Amy, you need to leave me alone, you know, because in this case, Malik was already like involved with, in this case, Amber. And it was basically telling Amy, like, hey, you need to leave me alone. You need to go ahead and be with Caitlin. She really loves you. Like, she can really give you what I can give you. But Amy was so in tune with Malik that she just really didn't want to let him go. And also on the other hand, there was just a lot going on. By the moment that Caitlin decided to walk away from Amy is when she realized basically that Amy will never change and Amy will never ever leave Malik to be with her. And I feel like at that point she just had her breaking point where she was just like, you know what, I'm done. You know, and after that night, after that argument, you know, after that situation between them, they just never ever saw each other again, you know. And I feel like Caitlin, after years, when Amber went to look for her because they were investigating the case, she was like kind of feeling guilty. You know, basically telling what would have happened if I would have stayed. You know, maybe that wouldn't have happened to her. Maybe she was just blaming herself for a lot. You know, and yes, it's a complicated story, guys. It's really complicated, but it's really good. You know, this is probably one of my favorites so far this year, just for the fact it's short, it's simple, but there is a lot going on. Like I said, it's impossible for me to explain it all, you know, on this one video. Once again, the series is called The Jetty. You can watch it on Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime Video. And yes, the relationship, situationship, friendship is between Amy and, in this case, Caitlin. 100% worth the watch. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Until the next video, and goodbye.